Did you know that dogs can spend up to 70% of their day alone while their owners are at work? Every day, millions of four-legged friends face the problem of separation, and many of them truly suffer, although we don't always notice it. Today, we'll talk about how to understand that your dog misses you when you're not home and what to do about it. Our pets cannot tell us about their feelings in words, but they communicate with us in their own language. By learning to recognize these signals, you can significantly improve the quality of life of your four-legged friend and strengthen your bond. Let's start with the most obvious signs that your dog is missing you in your absence. When you return home, does your pet greet you with such excitement as if they haven't seen you for an eternity? Jumps, squeals, runs in circles, brings toys, or even cries with joy. This is the first and most noticeable sign that your dog really missed you. Of course, all dogs are happy when their owner returns, but an excessively enthusiastic reaction may indicate that the pet experienced real stress during your absence. The next sign is destructive behavior. Upon returning home, do you find torn pillows, chewed shoes, or furniture? Many owners mistakenly believe that the dog does this out of spite, to take revenge for being left alone. In fact, this is not revenge, but a way to cope with stress and anxiety. When a dog chews on objects, especially those that smell like the owner, it tries to calm itself and compensate for the lack of social contact. This is a kind of therapy for a pet who doesn't know how else to cope with loneliness. Pay attention to the condition of your home when you return. Claw marks on doors or windows may indicate that the dog was trying to get outside to find you. Some pets sit for hours at the door or window, waiting for their owner to return. This is especially characteristic of breeds that were historically bred for close interaction with humans, such as Labradors, Golden Retrievers, or Border Collies. Interesting fact, studies show that dogs perceive time differently than humans. For them, there is no concept of, "I'll be back in 8 hours." They just know that you left and don't understand if you'll return at all. This explains why even a short absence can cause severe stress in some dogs. Changes in appetite can also be a sign that your dog is missing you. If your pet refuses to eat when you're not home but enjoys eating in your presence, this may indicate that separation causes anxiety. Some dogs, on the contrary, start eating more than usual, trying to comfort themselves this way. Pay attention to the food bowl. If it remains untouched until your return, this is something to think about. Have you ever noticed that your dog collects your things in its den? Socks, slippers, t-shirts, everything that smells like. You can become a source of comfort for your pet in your absence. This is a very touching display of attachment. The dog is not stealing your things. It's creating emotional support for itself, surrounding itself with items that have your scent. Vocalization is another way dogs express their longing. Do neighbors complain that your dog howls or barks when you're not home? This is a classic sign of separation. Howling is an ancient method of communication. In wolves, the ancestors of our dogs, this is how they called the pack members who had strayed from the group. Your dog instinctively uses the same method to call you back. Did you know that some dogs are so attached to their owners that they can develop a real anxiety disorder? This condition is called separation anxiety, and it's much more serious than ordinary boredom. Dogs with separation anxiety experience real panic when left alone. They may refuse food and water, bark, or howl continuously, try to escape, sometimes injuring themselves in the process, display destructive behavior, and even have problems controlling their bladder or bowels, despite being well house-trained. How do you distinguish between ordinary boredom and separation anxiety? Pay attention to when the anxious behavior begins. If the dog starts to get nervous when you're about to leave, taking your keys, putting on shoes, or a jacket, this may indicate separation anxiety. Such dogs often follow their owners every step, not moving an inch when they're home, as if afraid of losing sight of them. Modern technology offers an interesting way to find out what your pet is doing in your absence. Pet surveillance cameras allow you not only to monitor your dog in real time, but also to communicate with it, and some models can even dispense treats on command. Observations show that many dogs spend the first 15 to 30 minutes after their owner leaves in anxiety, and then either find something to do or simply sleep until their return. Interesting fact, studies using such cameras have shown that dogs react differently to the voices of different family members. Hearing the voice of a beloved owner through the speaker, a dog may start looking for them all over the house, while the voices of other family members evoke a less vivid reaction. What should you do if you notice that your dog is really suffering from loneliness? First of all, it's important to provide your pet with sufficient physical and mental stimulation before leaving. A morning walk with elements of active games will help the dog release energy and feel more relaxed in your absence. Puzzle toys with treats inside are a great way to keep your dog busy for several hours. There are special toys from which treats fall out gradually as the dog plays with them. This is not only entertainment, but also mental work that helps the pet not focus on the absence of the owner. Have you heard about the phenomenon of music for dogs? Research shows that certain types of music, especially classical and specially created compositions with frequencies comfortable for a dog's hearing, can calm pets. Many owners leave the radio or TV on, so the dog doesn't feel completely silent and alone. For particularly anxious dogs, there are special calming remedies. Pheromone diffusers that mimic the scent of a happy mother dog, calming vests that create a hugging effect, and even special natural food supplements. In serious cases, a consultation with a veterinary behavioral specialist may be needed. Gradual separation training is another effective method. Start with very short periods of absence, literally a few minutes, and gradually increase the time. It's important not to make a big event out of your departure and return. The calmer you behave, the less the dog will worry. What if your job involves a long absence from home? In that case, you might want to consider using the services of a dog sitter or dog walker who will visit your pet in the middle of the day. Even a short walk and a little communication can significantly improve the emotional state of the dog. Some companies today are becoming increasingly pet-friendly and allow employees to bring their pets to work. If you have such an opportunity, this can be the perfect solution to the problem. Research shows that the presence of dogs in the office not only helps the pets themselves, but also reduces stress levels among employees, increasing their productivity. To summarize, let's recall the main signs that your dog is missing you in your absence: an excessively enthusiastic greeting, destructive behavior, signs of attempts to escape from the house, changes in appetite, collecting your things, vocalization, and signs of separation anxiety. Remember that your dog isn't doing all this out of spite. It just doesn't know how else to cope with loneliness and anxiety. And now, a question for discussion in the comments. Which dog breeds do you think handle loneliness better, and which suffer more from separation from their owner? Share your experience and observations. If you like this video and learned something new about your four-legged friend, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell to not miss new episodes about dog psychology and behavior. Share this video with friends who have dogs. Perhaps this information will help them better understand their pets. Next time, we'll talk about another interesting topic related to the emotional world of our four-legged friends. It will be something that will make you look at your pet with completely new eyes. And finally, remember that for your dog, you are the whole world. Even short moments of quality communication can make separation much less painful. After all, isn't that why we get dogs? To give and receive unconditional love.